What's going on, everybody? Wood Talk Sports back again with another NFL Draft profile. Today we are doing it on edge rusher Chop Robinson from Penn State University. And Chop Robinson plays edge. He started as a linebacker in Maryland, then he transferred to Penn State when he really transitioned into that edge rusher role. Now, Chop Robinson has potential first-round talent, not currently being viewed as a first-rounder, but we'll get into him and why I think he's going to be the way he is in the NFL draft. But before we get started, appreciate it if you liked, subscribed. It's free to subscribe, and I'd appreciate it a lot. Let's get into it with Chop Robinson. Now, as I said, Chop Robinson used to sometimes come off the edge, kind of played a little bit of a hybrid with the linebacker position, but as he went to Penn State, he more integrated into the edge rush role, and I think he's a very good edge rusher. He's very fast off the end of the line. You can tend to see when he comes off the wide nine, that offensive tackle very little amount of times is going to keep up with him. He's just got that speed off the edge. And when you look at how many times he's lined up outside the tackle, it's substantially more than when he lines up at the A gap or the B gap. He's never lined up at the A gap in college, lined up in the B gap only 4 times last year, over the tackle 11 times, and then 259 times outside of the tackle, and sometimes even off the ball, 29 times off the ball in his junior season. Now, his ability to be quick off the end of the tackle and off the wide nine technique is what's going to get him up draft boards and is what's going to keep him relevant in the NFL draft process. I think his NFL draft combine is going to be a big one, especially when I watch these clips of him. The speed that he has coming off, there's some clips in here where maybe he overshoots the ball carrier, but you can see the speed he has. He needs to fix that up a little bit, but you can see how quick this dude is. And, I mean, how often he wins his pass rush. He had a 20.9% pass rush win rate in college last season. And that's one of the top in the country. If not, I think might want to be the top in the country. I mean, you're not seeing very many guys do that. And, I mean, obviously Penn State's known for making very good linebackers, very good pass rushers, and he's one of them. Now, if you take a look at his stats on the year, not the most, impressing and, eye-popping stats. Not like Will Anderson Jr. from last year, but, I mean, Will Anderson Jr. was a freak athlete and a freak of a prospect. Now, at Maryland, his freshman season at linebacker, as I said, only 2 sacks, 2.5 losses, 19 total tackles. Didn't really see the field too much, about 250 snaps that season. Now, his sophomore year is when he switched a little bit more to that edge rusher role, and you saw 5.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 26 total tackles. Now, edge rushers don't always have the most tackles. They're going to be there to contribute for your tackles for loss and your sacks. And you saw that from him. I mean, he also had 2 passes defended and a fumble recovery off 1 forced fumble. And according to PFF, that was a 90.6 grade, which is phenomenal. It really comes to how his win rate has been. And then his last season, he had 7.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 15 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles, a pass defended, and he played less snaps than he did his sophomore year. He only played about 303 defensive snaps. But something I could see in his junior year was he improved a lot on the run aspect of his defense and him reacting to the run. Once we get back to the clips, you'll see there's some where he stays very patient if he's holding the outside edge, and he knows not to leave the outside edge and make sure they can't get past him and get to that second level, get to that third level, and one day break it off for a touchdown. And you see him being able to stuff gaps, and even though he's an edge rusher, he will get in the way and make sure that his responsibility is fulfilled so that they can't do anything about it. And that's something that you can tell the growth from the player is big. So here's some clips that I wanted to point out since I talked about how he started improving his rushing defense. Once again, the speed off the edge, but then I want to show how he has improved because I can say it, but you got to see it. Now, there is some good clips as I said, speed rushing off the edge just a little too far. Got to work on that. Here's some things where you see him just absolutely powering offensive tackles. And for a guy who I would say is more of a speed rusher, him being able to overpower tackles and linemen and get to the backfield, like that play against Michigan, and get just beat up on the O-line is just something that if I was a scout, I would want on my team. And you saw the huge improvement from 2022 to 2023 when it came to doing this. As you can see in this Maryland clip, just absolutely pushing that offensive lineman back and getting the sack on Tagovailoa. I just something I watch and say, you look at the versatility through pass rush and rushing defense, and you look at the fact that he's able to exponentially grow as a player. Another player, completely different position, Jaden Daniels, his exponential growth as a player is really intriguing, and that's something I see in Chop Robinson's game, is his exponential growth as an edge rusher. Now, obviously, when we look at the final part of this, and that is my draft projection, as I said, he's got first-round potential. Do I think he goes first round? He could. Don't think so right now. Obviously, that's subject to change with the draft combine. Chop Robinson currently, I would say, is sitting around very early second round pick for me. I think he's going to be one of those guys that is the first round talent but doesn't make the first round because of some of the team needs in front of him, and will be a very early second round pick for a team maybe like the Vikings, who, in my opinion, could go QB in the first round and then go ahead and draft Chop Robinson in the second round because they might be losing Danielle Hunter, who is an edge rusher. Get yourself a young edge rusher and Chop Robinson. See, so I'm going to say right now, early second round pick, first round potential, and Chop Robinson, watch out for him come this draft combine today. And if you're not going to tune into the draft combine, if you weren't planning on doing it, I really would if I were you. It's very nice watching these up-and-coming players be able to showcase their skills and see who, in general, who's going to be good or who your team is going to pick. But with that, I'm going to send it off here. This one's a little bit shorter than the J.J. McCarthy video because as an edge rusher, it's kind of harder to find more clips of constant pass pressure because, not every pass drop back is going to be a win for the edge rusher. But let me know what you think about these draft profile videos, if they should be shorter, longer, if they are good, bad, if you like them. And once again, appreciate it if you dropped a subscription, dropped a like. Subscribing is always free on YouTube and helps me out on my journey. And now it's going to be it. Tomorrow we will be having a Madden gameplay coming out, and then Cooper DeJean's draft profile will be coming out on Saturday. That's going to be it. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.